Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4's Platinum Trophy aged me significantly.
This one took so long it even aged me.
Hey, are you doing all right? You're moving kind of slow.
Well, let's see. My joints pop every time I move an inch. I can't hear someone standing right next to me. My hair seems to be growing.
Oh God, we're gonna be here all day.
everywhere.
Let's just go ahead and start the video. So right out of the gate, I went straight to the tutorial because I'm a scrub.
I don't want no scrubs.
And while I was in the tutorial, I accidentally popped a trophy for performing a combo worth 7,500 or more, exclusively using flip tricks. Now the tutorial just had me doing basic tricks along the way, just trying to get the feel for how the game flows. And after completing that tutorial, I actually popped a second trophy. And now it was time to move on to the story. And in each level of the story, you have to not only complete goals, but also collect collectibles that include stat points for each character, as well as cash, an Iron Galaxy logo, and a hidden deck on each level. And with all these things to do, I was beginning to know how your mom feels during a night at the prostituting factory. That's right, we're a minute in and I've already made a your mom joke. You guys dropping dislikes on my videos will never stop me from making fun of your mothers.
It's not clocking to that I'm standing on business, is it?
Nah, but for real though, after about an hour of doing the story mode, I decided to go for another trophy because I needed that sweet dopamine hit. And the trophy I decided to go for was Omelette du Fromage.
Omelette du fromage.
And to get that trophy, all I had to do was go into photo mode and switch through all the filters. And then about an hour and a half later, I made it to the Los Angeles level in Tony Hawk 3. And while I was there, I accidentally popped the trophy Fine Feathered Friends for scaring 120 clusters of birds. In my next trophy for successfully performing 100 combos with wall rides, I popped less than a minute after the last one, which I believe is why my wife calls me the 1 Minute King. My next accidental trophy was It's Not Too Grindy for successfully landing 500 grinds. And once I had completed all the levels for Tony Hawk 3, I decided to move on to the challenges for Tony Hawk 3, some of which had me doing combos across gaps, which I had to connect gaps that were all the way across the map from each other. This combo was so ridiculous that it took me hours to do. However, I was able to pop the trophy for playing free skate for 5 or more minutes. And once I had finished the gap challenges for Tony Hawk 3, I moved on to the speedrun challenges for Tony Hawk 3, and then I popped a trophy for completing a speed run without bailing because, as I told you guys before, I'm a gangster.
P.O.P. I will die.
And then after the speed run challenges, I decided to move on to the get every gap in every single level on Tony Hawk 3 challenges. And while doing all the gaps in Suburbia, I actually got the trophy for sketching a vehicle for 15 seconds. Now, after completing the majority of the Tony Hawk 3 challenges, I moved on to actually doing the campaign for Tony Hawk 4. And along the way, I popped the trophy Tilt for unlocking the pinball level. Now, throughout the entirety of this playthrough, I was hunting for stat points like a crackhead hunting for crack.
You got the crack here, right? Oh, no crack?
And finally, I finished all the hunting I was doing and found the last stat point, which popped me the trophy, the final form. Now, the next trophy I decided to go for was getting a 75 trick combo. Honestly, this trophy was getting on my nerves, so I just turned on the game mod for perfect manual balance and then did it that way. Now, the pinball level had a goal that I had to complete, which saw me wall planting the multi-ball targets. And in order to do that, I had to go inside of this giant bird skull, which would throw me back out up here and also spawn another pinball. Then I had to drop back down into the area and then wall plant these little targets in order to get our next trophy, Wizard Mode. And with that, I had completed the story mode for both Tony Hawk 3 and Tony Hawk 4. And at this point, I sat back thinking, that can't be it, right?
But wait! There's more!
And that was when the pro goals unlocked, which actually popped me the next trophy, There's More. Now, the pro goals were just like the regular goals, except you had to go back through each level, and each level had a higher score threshold that you had to hit, plus a little bit harder goals to accomplish along the way. Now, something important to note here is that every single level has a pro goal that has me collecting the letters to spell out the word combo. But I can't just collect the letters. I have to be performing a single combo while doing it, which means I have to start a trick and continue that via manuals and grinds until I collect every single letter in the word. And our next trophy was actually obtained by me collecting all the letters to spell the word combo backwards. And our next two trophies made me feel a bit like your mother because I actually got them both at the same time.
That's nasty, man!
And those were THPS 3 Challenger for completing all the challenges in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, as well as Third Time's the Charm for completing every goal in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and earning all gold medals.
Meanwhile, back with Father
I
Time.
hit my allotted calorie intake every day just with the pills I take. I have to wear Velcro shoes because it hurts to bend over to tie regular shoes. I can't stay awake to have conversations.
Wait. Let's just cut it off there, man. So needless to say, you're not doing very well. I get it. But do you have anything to say about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
Well, back in my day, Tony Hawk was a bird that my friend Johnny had down the street and we would play.
You know what? Never mind. I'm sorry I asked. And again, I popped 2 trophies at the same time. This time it was while I was doing the tricks challenges. The final one that I completed had me sketching 2 vehicles at the same time, which popped me a trophy for that, as well as the trophy for completing all the tricks challenges. So at this point, I was working through the skater challenges while I was doing the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 story mode. And during that process, I popped a crazy long combo that actually got me the trophy Versatile for landing a 150,000 plus point combo, including a flip, grab, manual, wall, grind, and special trick. And after working for a few hours on the 38 skater challenges, I was left with the final one for Tyshawn Jones. And after wrapping that up, I got the trophy Skater Challenger. And our next trophy, I actually got this code off of a YouTube short that I can't seem to find anymore. And this code takes me to a level that allows me to break 500 objects, therefore popping the trophy Chaos Reigns. And you can call me Miley Cyrus because
I came in like a wrecking ball.
And then it was back to the Tony Hawk 4 career mode until I completed that and popped the trophies. THPS 4 Challenger for completing all the Tony Hawk 4 challenges, as well as thanks for the memories for completing the Tony Hawk 4 career mode. And after this, I decided to stay in the pinball level so that I could get the trophy Extra Ball, which had me scoring a 1 million point combo or more without using any mods. And this felt just like real life because now I have that Extra Ball.
Serious?
And at this point, I was thinking, man, this platinum is going to be really easy. But boy, was I wrong. Because this was the exact moment that I popped the trophy The Solo Acts Begin for unlocking the solo tour, which then let me know exactly what the flying solo trophy meant by complete every solo tour. And that was that I not only had to go through both games all over again, but I had to do it 29 times, once with each different character. And not only did I have to do the regular goals and the pro goals on each level, but I also had to collect cash on every single level with every single character. Plus, there were 2 hidden decks for each game per character. So I guess it was time to go ahead and get to work. And I decided to start off the journey with Tony Hawk. And after playing as Tony for a little while, I remembered that there was a very easy trophy that I had forgotten to get this far. And all I had to do to get that was actually go into photo mode as Tony Hawk. Now, the next easy trophy that I had neglected to get on my first 2 playthroughs was called Kickflip the Abyss, which was kind of confusing initially because the Abyss is my ex-girlfriend's nickname.
Jesus Christ.
And after trying to kickflip her a few times, I finally figured out what it was supposed to be, which is basically just coming over to this house, jumping in the door, and doing a kickflip as I fall back down to earth. And then the final easy trophy that I popped was called 900 the 900, which is just basically as easy as it sounds. You have to do a 900 while also doing the special trick, the 900. Now, initially, each of these solo tours was taking me roughly 4 hours to complete, but over time, I was able to narrow it down to just 2 hours per skater. But if you're doing the math, that's still another 58 hours of gameplay at 29 skaters times 2 hours apiece. So I buckled up and got ready for the long journey that was going to be this one singular trophy. But hey, look at the bright side. While I was playing this, I got to watch season 3 of Squid Game, as well as a new TV show my wife told me about called The Waterfront. But after grinding and grinding and grinding, I was finally able to complete the final solo tour and pop the trophy Flying Solo. Now, one of the last trophies I had to get was Unprecedented, and you get that trophy by scoring 10 million points in either a single combo or a 2-minute run. The trick is you can't use any game mods, so you have to do this naturally. But at this point in the run, I was so burned out that I just picked this level on Creative Park, and with a little bit of practice, I was able to get the trophy like 5th or 6th try.
It's cheating! It's cheating!
With only 1 trophy left, now seems as good a time as any to check in on old Platty McTrophy Face. Hey, buddy, are you still... Oh my God, are you dead? Oh man, dude, you're being taken to heaven. That's so cool. Well, you know, honestly, that probably makes more sense. Well, that was definitely something that happened, but now we're down to 1 final trophy, and that is Expert Challenger, which you get for completing all of the expert challenges in the game. And there's 2 sets of these. You have Expert 1 and you have Expert 2, both of which consist mostly of just landing large combos in each level throughout the game. And as soon as I had finished with the majority of those challenges, I was left with just 1 final challenge, and that saw me trying to sketch 2 vehicles while landing a 1 million plus point combo. And I gotta say, this was actually kind of a tough challenge to complete, but eventually I was able to pull it off, score the 1 million point combo, and pop the final trophy, Expert Challenger. And along with that final trophy came the Platinum Trophy for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. And let me just say, if you guys hung around to the end of this video, you are my heroes. This Platinum run took me 138 hours. That time is absolutely freaking insane. Also, on a side note, we hit 69 subs.
Nice.
Hey, if you guys are looking for more of your mom jokes, don't forget to click this video.